Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Regadon. Let's go defend Pulura's Fall.
I'll take care of it. It's time to act!
There may come a time later in the Let's Play where I do all the buffing off camera where it makes sense to.
Now, what am I missing?
I believe I did that in my first Let's Play of the game as well.
Always be ready for the worst.
Anything new?
I'm sure I've mentioned it before. I know some people find all this buffing bothersome. I enjoy it. Almost therapeutic.
Are we ready to move out?
Yet another obstacle.
Seems the undead may solve our problem for us. Serenray, have mercy on us. May have failed you. We ask you to save us. Are these really cultists? Darn it. I don't want to watch the undead kill innocent people.
Begone, fiend!
The Inheritor, guide my blade! Into the fray!
You crossed the wrong mongrel!
You're irrelevant!
Exhausted by their battle with the undead, the alleged cultists sit in wary silence. Only one of them dares to speak up. He seems to be the de facto leader of the group. Mercy. We ask for mercy. His shoulders droop slightly. He tries to appear confident, and in that moment, you suddenly realize you've seen him before. He was in the vision you had when you were in the caves near Canabras. This tall half-elf was among those who betrayed Lariel, and offered prayers to the monster that killed him. These past years have aged him, and he is no longer young. Yet despite his gray hair and worn features, his manner and bearing have not changed. You looked at the fallen angel in your vision with the same mixture of boldness and uncertainty that you see before you now. Who are you? State your names. Kater does not lower his weapon, and his gaze is stern and unyielding. I recognize him. The one who begs for mercy was among the traitors who lured the angel Lariel into a trap. The leader of the cultists turns pale at the sound of Lariel's name. His lips tremble, but he seems to have lost the ability to speak. What? Traitors and demon worshippers here. We should have helped them. Let's finish what the undead started. Kater, stop. We can't kill those who beg humbly for mercy, or we will be no better than the demons. When I look into their souls, I see grief, fear, and repentance, not evil. We must take them to the temple and heal them, then ask questions. Darn it, priestess, are you out of your mind? You just revealed our secret to total strangers. Leandra speaks softly, so only you and Kater can hear. Donald, forgive me, and you Kater as well. You are a great warrior, the best we have. But I cannot take your side in this. And if I went along with you, I'd be ashamed to see my own reflection in the holy waters of Pulura. The priestess raises her voice. I'm the high priestess of Pulura's Fall. Guards, I order you to take these people to the temple. And on the subject of secrets, Commander, you should talk to the prisoner yourself. I believe you too will see the truth of his heart, and the absence of evil in his soul.
No glory without risk!
You won't survive me.
So it's saying there's still loot to be found, but I'm pretty sure all these suspicious travelers survived.
We do it my way.
But they may have died during the battle but got back up at the end. Cult leader. The suspense is terrible. What will they do to us? I just want this whole nightmare to end. Alright, cult leader. The cultist looks up at you, his face worn and haggard. The Temple of Pulura. How strange. I didn't think it had survived. Tell me who you are, and what part you played in the death of the angel Lariel. The cultist looks down at the floor. My name is... Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't want to reveal the name of my clan and bring shame upon it. My own name means nothing. I am a Sarkorian by birth, but I came to Mendeb with refugees when I was a child. I grew up in an orphanage at Iomede's temple. When I was old enough, I joined the Crusaders there. I was a good scout, inquisitive, daring, not afraid to go into the most dangerous places. At least, that's what my commanding officers thought. In truth, though, I've just always been drawn to the forbidden and dangerous. When an angel came to my commanding officer and asked for a few people to accompany him on a dangerous mission, they chose me. The angel wanted to find the outcasts, those first crusaders who either succumbed to demonic corruption or were accidentally infected. These outcasts then gave birth to mutated children. According to the rumors, they sought refuge in the caves beneath Canabras, away from the judging eyes and pyres. I was sent there to look for any traces of their presence. Those caves are deadly, an immense labyrinth of passages running deeper and deeper, all the way down to the Darklands, which is also another CRPG. After hearing of the angel's plan to descend to that place, someone decided to make it his grave. I probably have no right to ask forgiveness for what I have done, but I was very young, and I never liked being a crusader. Rising early in the morning, training, and marching in formation. I've been forced to do that my whole life. In the orphanage where I grew up, all the children were made to march like little soldiers as soon as they could walk. But he promised something different, something new. He said we shouldn't be afraid of demons. Sure, narrow-minded prigs claimed that demons were murderers and destroyers, but that wasn't true. Demons were actually strong and free, and they were ready to share their power and freedom with any who would join them. And I believed him. I often thought about how Rilu Vorlesh, an ordinary Sarkorian just like me, ascended to incredible heights after she chose to serve Deskari. If it worked for her, I thought, why not me? So I agreed to betray the angel. I lied to him, told him I'd found the outcast he was looking for, and lured him into a trap. Do you feel remorse for your actions? Yes and no. There's such a fine line between remorse and disillusionment. The cultist shakes his head warily. He gave me power, just as he promised. I spent years in the cult of Deskari, enjoying that power, and basking in the adoration of the weak. And yet, well, I saw so many crusaders who fought with honor until the very end. When I looked into their eyes, I remembered the proud, noble spirit of the angel that I had betrayed. I miss the camaraderie, the sincerity. 70 years is a long time, even for a half-elf. And I see many things differently now than I did when I was young. Who is this he you keep talking about? The cultist shudders slightly and whispers. He is the Echo of Deskari. He's an avatar of the great demon lord, his archpriest. Archpriest. I like saying archpriest there. He once led the fight against the god Eredin, but was defeated. He has never forgotten or forgiven those responsible for his humiliation. The cultist hangs his head, and he knows you are here. He was the one who guided us to this place. He brought us to the wasteland, and told us to move forward in search of the unknown. I know that the Herald of the Lightbringer is here and with you. Sorry, he's here with you somewhere. Warn him. Warn him that the Echo knows he is here. That is all I can do for you.
Follow if you dare.
Owen Haribro. The broest bro to have ever broed. Sorry for pressing you like I did, but I had no choice. They interrupted the conversation. You hear the distant sounds of conversation. Leandra and Kater appear to be having an intense discussion. Their voices are not raised, but you can feel the tension between them, like a gathering storm that could break at any moment. I've already apologized for using my powers as the High Priestess to pressure you like I did, but I had to intervene. You would have brought harm to those poor, miserable people. I could read the souls of others, and when I looked at them, I saw no evil, only fear and grief. Enough, Priestess. I don't mind you giving me a tongue lashing. You can scold me as much as you want, I won't be offended. But do not expect me to forget about my duty. I'm responsible for the safety of this temple, and that safety is threatened by those cultists. We need to interrogate them, and if necessary, torture them, until they reveal the truth of how they came to be here. Was it by chance or by choice? Even if it's the former, letting them go is out of the question. They may not have any evil intentions, but they still cannot be trusted. If they prove their innocence, they will remain here as prisoners. My righteous friends! Your words are an endless circle. You've gone round and round, but you're no closer to making a decision. I've learned some important information. The leader of the cultist serves the Echo of Deskari. That monster knows the hand of the Inheritor is here at the temple. The Echo of Deskari. The herald sounds strangely subdued, and his voice is grim. This is an enemy I know. The Echo is a terrible monster, and a formidable foe. Few are his equal. He is an avatar of Deskari, alike in form, but possessing an independent consciousness and unrelenting malice. Is he responsible for Lariel's death? No. Don't bother with the reply. I already know the answer. You see, Alejandra? We've let a serpent inside our house. The servant of a demonic beast. Let me interrogate him, along with the others. They showed up outside our walls at the exact same time as the Herald and the Knight Commander. I do not believe they are here by accident. Enough, Kater. I forbid you from conducting an interrogation. Not just for the sake of those poor people, but for your sake as well. Your soul is pure and devoted to duty, but every time you justify bad behavior for a good cause, you take a step toward evil. Priestesses and sermons, sermons and priestesses. Since we seem to be paying compliments now, I'll give you some of my own. I know that you're practically a saint, Eliandra. We all believe in the importance of this mission, but it is not just the will of Pulura that keeps us here, it is also you. Your leadership inspires us, but sometimes holiness is not enough. Sometimes, someone just has to get their hands dirty and do what needs to be done. I'm going to side with Kater here. These guys have not proven themselves to be good. And just because they don't have evil in their souls necessarily, doesn't mean they won't act rashly out of fear. Enough arguing. Kater is right. We cannot trust the sincerity of the cultists. We must get the truth from them, by whatever means necessary. Leandra buries her face in her hands. Interrogations and torture in the holy shrine of Pulura. I cannot bear it. She walks away without lifting her head. So there are two paths for the angel mythic path. Some of the mythic paths have two options. I think the demon one also has two options. So you go, was it Angel of Vengeance or Angel of Redemption? I think that's what they're called. Then like the demon mythic path has the subservient or submissive demon path, and then the independent one, I don't know what they're called. I know there's like two options for like the two major paths. I don't think the other ones have two options. It's just the two big ones. Discord among allies. The thing weighs on me heavily. Somebody, help. It's the cultist. The one who didn't want to give his name. He started shaking, whispering something. Then this haze surrounded him. All the guards around him lost consciousness, and he got up and started walking toward the temple entrance, like he was leaving. We don't know what to do. We need to go there at once. Make haste. I know we shouldn't have allowed them into the temple. Let's go. Hurry. Nothing. Quest is taking ages. Only the other, I think paths have quests that take quite this long. Especially the first one. The cultist has summoned someone here. We must be prepared to fight whoever responded to his call. Spare my companions. They didn't do anything. They believe we were looking for shelter in Drezen. And see what the first thing was he said. I deceived them too. Now I will die. I'll become a worm in the abyss. I deserve nothing more. You recognize the monster that towers over the cultist's blood-soaked body. You've seen this beast before. It appeared in a vision you had about the death of Lario, when you were in the caves beneath Canabras. The monster looks like Deskari, a hideous cross between human and locust. It sways on thin legs as its head turns from side to side. However, it does not seem to be frightened or aggressive. On the contrary, it seems strangely calm, as if completely unaffected by its current surroundings.
In anticipation of your questions, I will provide you with some answers. Yes, you have fallen into my trap. Even you fell for it, hand of the upstart. It has been many years since I caught your angel in the caves beneath Canabras and allowed him to leave his flaming sword in the stone. He promised that sooner or later, someone would remove it, and I decided to believe him. I kept a watch on the sword.
The sound of its voice changes, just like it did in your vision. The voice is low, then high, old, and then young. So I really like the character of the Echo of Deskari, though normally on other mythic paths you don't meet him until Act 4. I think you only have 2, maybe 3 interactions with him prior, or in total. But even those 3 interactions make him a very, yes, 3. 2 in Act 4, then 1 in Act 5. But yeah, he's a really interesting character.
I have watched and waited all these years. Waited for the promise to come true. For the sword's new owner to bring me to you. To take me to the secret temple. You protected it well. In fact, the temple is still hidden from my sight. But I do not need to see the temple in order to destroy it. I simply need to know where it is.
His hair pales slightly. His body tenses, ready to spring into action. Enough boasting, demon.
Knight Commander. That is how one ought to address you, yes. I've been watching you for a long time, and I already know how, when, and where I'm going to kill you. Mortal children like to tear the wings off of flies and butterflies, and I, in turn, like to have my fun with the inheritor's pets.
The monster looks at you and narrows its eyes.
Silence, Echo! You fiend! Do you think I do not see your secret desire? Erodin overthrew you. He brought his hand down upon you and crushed you like a gnat. Since that day, you have nursed your resentment and jealousy, letting them fester within you. You are too much of a coward for honest combat. You prefer to ambush your prey, striking from the shadows. I will put an end to this. I will put an end to you. And you will take the secret of Pulura's fall with you to your grave.
The herald's voice shakes with righteous anger.
There is so much you do not see, Herald.
Suddenly, the Echo stops short. His head twitches from side to side, then falls forward onto his chest. His hands hang down limply, like a doll. Time seems to slow as he stands there unmoving. The air grows thick and heavy. Then, the Echo raises his head, turning it from side to side as if assessing his surroundings. As you look into his blank eyes, you realize that it is no longer the Echo who stares back out at you, but someone entirely different.
Let's see. The stench of the upper plains and the abyss. Colorful flashes. Magic that deflects the gaze and obscures the vision. It must be Pulura, the mistress of bright lights, who has tried to hide her temple in my domain. How could you let such a thing happen, Iomade, the imposter? Don't you feel sorry for your angelic allies? You should have just ordered them to serve their priest up on a platter to me. The end result would be the same.
The Herald's knuckles are white as he grips the hilt of his sword. However, the angel remains silent. Whisper to the Herald. Is that Deskari himself speaking? Could he attack us?
I do not know the limits of his power, but if he decides to attack, I will protect you, even if it costs me my life. I will do my best to carry you to a safe place.
Man, the hand is... He's always got your back.
So my Echo has found the Temple of Pulura. I wouldn't call it an achievement, but it's not bad for a magnet molded from the souls and bodies of mortals. What else? Gold, light, a sweet smell. It all seems suspiciously like heaven. Well then, Iomade the imposter, whom have you sent? Could it be your herald? And your new pet from Canabras? Or have I already killed that one? I lose track of such things. There are so many of them fussing about with their halos and wings, babbling their long, arduous prayers to some self-proclaimed goddess. Will you ever get tired of sending your favorites to the slaughter?
The echo continues to twitch limply as the voice grows stronger.
Nothing to say, imposter? One day I will knock on the doors of heaven and you will have to answer. So remain silent for now and observe. Today there will be no bloodshed. I will send the echo back to the abyss right now.
That's no good, because he still knows where Pulura's temple's at, which I guess Deskari does as well. Before the strange oppressive presence suddenly disappear, the echo remains still, frozen, as if in a trance.
Quick, let's kill him before he comes to his senses!
Oh, he's got voice acting. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Your main flaw is predictability, pawns of heaven. I already know your next move, your methods, your plans of defense. I know how to catch you off guard, and it's as simple as catching a bird in a cage. I will return to the abyss, as my lord has ordered. But I am not retreating in defeat. I am carrying off my prey. The screams of your zealous guard will haunt your every waking moment, and thoughts of him will taunt you in the silence of the night. He will be my entertainment until you are within my grasp.
Guard the demons and all their cunning guile. The echo escaped with a prisoner, and I could do nothing to stop it. I was only able to protect you. The Echo of Deskari doesn't want to face me in a fair fight, so he attacks my friends and allies. Kater has been taken by the Echo of Deskari. He was a wall of protection around Pulura's fall. Now the wall has fallen. But why is the Echo pursuing you, Hand of the Inheritor? My Lady Amade inherited the throne of heaven from the great Eredin. The same Eredin who overthrew the Echo, and stopped Deskari's last attempt to break through to Golarion. This is why the Echo hates anything and anyone associated with Eredin's legacy. And of course, that legacy includes Iomedae. As her herald, I just happen to be the first in line. Deskari himself spoke to us. I would say he spoke to us. The angel gesticulates angrily. He was addressing my celestial lady Iomedae, which he does every time you encounter him. I think he rarely addresses you directly. He must have thought she was watching us. The Demon Lord never wastes his time communicating with mortals, or even with celestials. He barely notices us, or at least pretends not to. Why didn't the Echo fight? That is not easy to explain without delving more deeply into the nature of demons, and more specifically, the Echo of Deskari. The Hand of the Inheritor speaks slowly, as if he's reluctant to continue. Demons are created by the Abyss to have a single purpose. They are made to destroy, desecrate, and torture. But the Echo of Deskari is not a real demon. His monstrous creator uses his own power, and the souls of his mortal followers to make the Echo into what he is today. He was not born in the Abyss, but in Golarion, and Deskari wanted to use him to open a way into the world. I faced this monster before, and defeated it in many battles. But his soul is infinitely vile, and filled with pride. A pride that has been wounded. The Echo suffered a terrible defeat at the hands of Eredin, and was exiled into the Abyss, vanquished and disgraced. Then, his pride took another blow when a simple human witch, Arilu Vorlesh, succeeded where he had failed. She opened the way for demonic hordes to enter the mortal world. So if you wish to understand the Echo, you must understand that he is wounded and angry, eager to have revenge for all of his grievances and defeats. And that's why it's not enough for him to simply kill his enemies, even when he can easily overpower them. He wants those who stand against him to suffer, and thrash in helpless rage, just as he did. That's why he chose not to fight, why he did not bring a horde of demons with him, even though he has them at his command. No, he wants sadness and terror to poison our souls. He wants our hearts to be heavy with grief when we think about the ally he has stolen from us. The Echo wants our minds to be filled with the horrors and tortures of the Abyss, so that when we sleep, the screams of pain and prayers for help become the nightmares that wake us from our slumber. The angel trails off. Leandra wraps her arms around herself sadly. Kater, my faithful guard. How can I keep myself from thinking about what you will have to go through, imprisoned by that monster? And I cannot help you. The care of our community and temple now falls to me alone. Now that the demons know the temple exists, the temple's inhabitants must be brought to Drezen. If the community wishes me to lead them to a safe place, I will do so. However, I will stay here. Our mission is not yet complete. We've given over 100 years, a whole lifetime for some, for the chance to heal the world wound. We cannot give up now. I think the others will make the same decision. Besides, even if the demons know the exact location of the temple, Pulura's patronage still shields our sanctuary from their eyes. We will stand our ground. I have faith. What can we do to save the Echo's victim? He went to the abyss, to the rasping rifts, the dominions of his lord. Even if our hearts wish it, we cannot simply rush after him. Incursions to the abyss are 100 times more dangerous than anything you faced before, champion. So dangerous, I would not risk sending you there unless it was absolutely necessary. The angel sighs heavily. I will return you to Drezen, and then I will send a message to heaven. If I turn to the sources of wisdom, perhaps I will find something that will help. We must not lose hope, no matter how dire things may seem. And I would ask you, mighty champion, to look for Targona the Angel. She is the light that must shine among the ranks of the Crusaders once more. One day, we'll finally give the Echo of Deskari what he deserves. They will save everyone he has ever threatened. But now, it's time for us to return to Drezen, champion, and prepare for war. Man, the Hand of the Inheritor is such a great character. Especially going into Act 4. Alright, we call it here. Next time, we'll try to talk to the Hand of the Inheritor again. And I guess go to the Citadel. We never made it there last time. Also, we didn't gain a mythic rank. That was a mythic quest. Well, either way. Then after we do all that, I think we'll do Rushli's quest next, because going towards Green Gates should lead us to Woljif as well. But either way for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.